Hey, it's Shae. How are you guys doing on this New Year's Eve evening? Um, I want to share something with you. I think it's kind of funny, and although on the outset it seems kind of sad, I find it very humorous in its way. I'm sitting here on Christmas Eve, and it's quiet, except for the fireworks outside. And this is not how I planned my evening. I actually had plans to do something with someone or some people, and it seems that people flake off. And that's okay, that's fine. I'm happy with myself and what plans I do have. And I just wanted to make a point, though, that one of the people was someone who had versed some interest in me. And I had told him from the very beginning, one, I'm not dating. I am just doing me right now and catering to my talents and gifts in service to people. So I wanted to focus on that. I also have just a mindset that you need to be completely ready to give 100% into a relationship, and I'm not there yet. I have certain things that I'm working on, and I want to make sure that I reach those goals before I'm dividing my attention and energies. So, with that in mind, there was an agreement to spend time together and to get to know each other. And if something developed, it developed, and it would do so in a natural course, but at my pace. I'm calling the shots because I'm not looking for anything right now. But I do like people's company, and I learn a lot from people. So for me, that's just a nice way to spend time is with people. So I found it kind of funny because there's been ebbs and flows, breakdown in communication. There's some things that person needs to work on big time coming out of a relationship. Two dissolved relationships. One of them ended really badly, and there seems to be some residual stuff there, but there's also blindness as to what that person contributed to the bad ending. Let me just put it that way. And so, seeing these things displayed and trying to give some guidance, some awareness to, hey, there's some things you need to work on yourself before you can give yourself 100% to somebody else, whether it's me or not. This person wasn't picking up, but recognized that there were some issues. I just didn't see the work. The inner work was not going into themselves. They kind of said, well, the other person's not there, so, it was their issues. And I said, no, it takes two people to contribute to the breakdown of a relationship, and it was pretty bad. So I was trying to give some guidance and some hints of what needed to be given attention to before thinking about having a relationship. And there were some conversations along the way of, I'm waiting on you for a signal. I'm waiting on you to, and there's a problem with that in that if someone voices are not ready for a relationship, there shouldn't be an expectation there. And if someone is putting pressure on that person despite the expressed boundaries, there's a problem there. If that person has their own agenda and they're ignoring the other person who wants to wait, take their time, and engage slowly, the other person is in a rush, they have an agenda, they have certain criteria in their head of time frames, those things are not going to work together, especially if they're not doing the inner work. There's a natural process that relationships will develop if both people are willing, both people are ready, both people are healthy and capable, things will fall into place. So it really isn't a matter of waiting on someone. Things will just happen as they might happen. I don't believe in rushing into anything, but truth be told, there's different speeds that people navigate at. So with that in mind, it seemed that things were not gelling because someone was in a rush, but they weren't doing the inner work, so it's not going to work. Well, I just found it funny because there was at least an assumption as a friendship that something would happen tonight, go somewhere, do something, listen to music. watch some fireworks, that fun stuff. And the person had been distant for the last 2 days, so I said, "Hey, what's up? You okay? Something going on?" And last few days has been small talk, a little bit of chat on the phone, but not much. And then today, "Hey, are you okay? I'm noticing that there's, no good morning, no nothing." And I got the whole, tsunami of, well, I've been distancing myself again because I feel like we're not on the same page. And I'm thinking, what page is that? Because I know what page I'm on, and I expressed what page I was on. So if we're not on the same page, that's not my fault. It's not my issue. It's not even my care at this point. It just is what it is. If that person doesn't want to understand where I'm at and wants to, I don't know, entice, control, or otherwise engage, that's on them. So, although there were plans, nothing concrete, basically that person just kind of deep sixed and just stopped talking, stopped texting, and I was like, fine. I actually ended the conversation once, returned back to it, and was really done engaging because it really wasn't going anywhere. And so no plans evolved from the whatever, to get together. I just find it funny. So I'm sitting here thinking I could take this as a negative. I could think, okay, well, what's wrong here? What's going on? I'm here by myself, which is fine. I've got my puppies and my kitten cat, so I'm good. Sometimes I'd rather spend time with them than have them alone when there's fireworks and crazy stuff going on. So being home is not a horrible thing. But I'm just looking at this thinking, okay, because he was in such a rush, he's going to miss out on a very high quality woman in his life who gave him tons of counsel and guidance with his business and other things that he quite frankly benefited from. And, I wasn't looking for anything, so I didn't expect a whole lot. There were some exchanges of things, which was nice, but I was reserved anyway, and so I don't feel that I'm not missing out on anything I didn't have, and I'm not missing out on anything I wasn't looking for, and I'm not missing out on something that clearly would have been not have a good outcome, because if someone is pushing and hurried and has an agenda and they're not paying attention to the person in the relationship or the person they want to be in relationship with right from the get-go, that's just a recipe for trouble. That's going to be a problem all the way along. So instead of communicating, he shut down. He literally would not talk for a few days. I mean, that just got weird. And instead of engaging in things and actually having some conversation about what was going on, there were a few conversations started, never finished, where I basically left it up to him to think about or ponder. My mind is pretty quick. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer. It's very simple. I know what I feel. I know what I think. I know what I like. I'm in tune with myself. But this person was not. So some people need a little bit of time to consider things. So he was given plenty of space to figure out what he wanted as an outcome and how he was going to get there. And there were several conversations were about feelings and thoughts. And he couldn't dive into that. So, okay, let him sit. I said, I'm going to leave the conversation with you to think about a couple hours, overnight, whatever. Come back and talk to me about it. Never happened. It never happened. He would just go on as if the conversation never happened and chit-chat about other things. Very superficial things, generally. Some spiritual things, but external. Nothing ever personal, really, of any depth. And I find it very difficult to connect with people that don't have layers of depth, don't look at things from different perspectives, don't look at the bigger picture, don't look at things in layers from where did it start to where did it go to what's the result now, or look at the result and figure out where did it stem from. I just find people that are capable of philosophizing, which is not a word, something I made up, from different angles of something, that they're more interesting because you can put a matter down on a table and sit here and take a look at it. You can either turn it or switch your seat and see it from a different perspective. You can turn it over, you can flip it over, whatever, wherever, you can look at it from a bunch of different angles to try to really understand what it's about. And if you're working on a problem, how do you conceptualize tactics and strategies to deal with it? So those skills are super, super important. So I just want you ladies to understand that it's best to be alone than to be with someone not well suited for you. So although it's very peaceful here, my life is generally very peaceful. It's full of people of different degrees and interesting temperaments and and intelligence levels and things that excite them, and I learn from everybody. So I'm always open to what someone can bring to the table to make me aware of myself or things or people in general. And it's much better to be in a place of peace and calm than being with somebody that is hectic or puts pressure on you, stresses you, expects things from you, and frankly doesn't appreciate who you are and what you bring to the table because they're working on their own agenda. They only have themselves in mind, even though they might be doing something for you, but there's ulterior motives there. And that's a really ugly place to be with somebody. So I am happily here, knowing that life is quickly changing around me as I'm offering services to others in this interesting virtual platform. I find it fascinating making connections with people, to be able to help people in this format, building a space, a retreat space for women to come and to do workshops and courses and to get cleansed and blessed and freed. And I'm just looking forward to this next year. There's many projects on the drawing board, and I'm excited to see what is going to happen. I'm manifesting, focusing, and it's all in service to others. I get a thrill if I can turn a light bulb on for somebody. If I can help them understand themselves more deeply, more readily, more easily. Simple is the mantra of what I do. And I teach people how to uncomplicate things, how to live life on a simple level, but very enjoyable level, very profound, very passionate, very purposeful, and very loving and peaceful. And that's where the sweet spot of life is. So if you're alone and you're in a quiet place, even not celebrating too much, but you're safe, I'm happy to know that. If you're not and you're in a chaotic situation, my heart goes out to you because I know what it's like to have somebody tearing at your peace. It's not fun. I hope that I can help some of you coming into the new year to really understand that you are amazing and powerful. You're here for a reason, and it's like treasure hunting to figure out what that reason is. So I wish you well. God bless you all. I wish you love, peace, prosperity, adventure, and fun in this new year. It's going to be a blast. You know it, I know it. Let's make it happen. Catch you on the flip side.